Welcome to another edition of the Horror Chambers DVD and Blu-Ray collection. I'm Anthony T. In this edition, I'm going to go over the latest Blu-rays, including some indie films that I picked up, plus a couple of catalog titles. Actually, you can say maybe about 7 catalog titles that recently had new editions released on Blu-ray. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And I'll start off the episode with one of the indie horror DVDs, indie horror Blu-rays, that I picked up. I hope you enjoy. This film in this edition is Volumes of Blood. The film I haven't seen yet, but I've heard a lot of very good things about. Plus, this is also a Scream Team release. And they've done some really good titles like The Sleeper, 1031, and The Bond. So, I'll give this one definitely a chance. Hopefully I'll get to this soon. But it looks all nice with all the autographs from some of the people who worked on the film. So we'll be checking this out very soon. This film is Truth or Dare. This is another film that I haven't seen yet, but I'm also trying to catch up on some of the films that were released this year. So for $12, I decided to get it. So hopefully this is good. The next films on this episode are 3 films from the MVD Rewind collection. And that pretty much is kind of a new label in the vein of Scream Factory and Arrow Video to some of the lesser known titles. The first title I have is Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. This is a fun film. Even though nothing makes sense and everything seems so out there, still, every time I view it, I have a good time watching this film. This film also has some extras on it, too, which makes it even more better. So definitely check out that film if you're into films like Toxic Avenger, or films that just are plain weird. The second film is Return of the Swamp Thing. This is a film I haven't seen in quite some time. I remember seeing this film when I was young, when it was playing on HBO. It was a good film. A little cheesy, as it felt more like a B-movie. And especially as a step down since Wes Craven directed the original, and Jim Wynorski, who you might know from films like Chopping Mall and Sorceress. So, it's pretty much in the vein of his type of films, as this is probably more campier than Swamp Thing. And the final film that I've got from the MVD Rewind collection is Abominable. The film I haven't seen yet, but one of the main reasons why I picked this film out from the website is because the film has a couple of genre stars that I love to see in films. It has Jeffrey Combs in it from Re-Animator, Lance Henriksen from Aliens, and Tiffany Shepis. So this is a film I will definitely check out when I have the time. And I suggest you check out this label, because it seems like they are committed to putting out good releases. The next 2 films are from Vestron Video. If people don't know it by now, Lionsgate's specialty label, for lack of a better terms. It's kind of their version of Scream Factory, and it's based on an old 80s label. The first title is Beyond Re-Animator. This film is the craziest one out of the 3 Re-Animator films. Jeffrey Combs is excellent as Herbert West, as always. Plus, this film has some crazy effects. Some very gory, which is worth checking out if you're definitely a fan of the first 2 Re-Animator films. As this is probably, I would say, the second best of the 3. And so, of course, the first one's the best. Then I would put this second, then Bride third. But you may have a different opinion. The other film that I got was H.P. Lovecraft's Dagon. This film I haven't seen yet, but it's directed by Stuart Gordon, which is another name that will always get my interest. Plus, it deals with Lovecraft. As you might not know, Re-Animator was based on a Lovecraft story, too. But back to Dagon, I hope to see that film soon, because I really do want to. I missed it when it came out on DVD back when it was originally released. And I hope you check these 2 films out, as I will again. Or in Dagon's case, the first time. Speaking of labels, I recently also picked up 2 Scream Factory releases. The first one is Phantasm 2. This film, for the most part, was, well, okay. I wish the film built on the original, but it was kind of tough to do because of the way of the time gap between the 2 films. Plus the fact that this is a studio film as well. And if you listen and watch some of the special features on it, you'll see why it got toned down from the original. It's an okay film, but I prefer Phantasm way better than Phantasm 2. Speaking of subpar sequels that I prefer, I also got Return of the Living Dead Part 2. That film, well, it's played more for laughs than serious horror. If you're into the comedy horror thing, this is a good one for you. For me, it was alright, had a good time. There's nothing negative to say about it. It's just that I still prefer the original Return of the Living Dead because it had more of a serious tone to it. It would have been nice if this film had a serious tone, but this film plays more as a comedy, in my opinion. But still, it's good 80s fun, so there's not much to complain about it, or else I would have not gotten this, obviously. So, it's still worth checking out if you're a fan of the series, but I prefer the first one and the third ones over this film. Next couple of films that I'm going to talk about are films that most likely will be reviewed here on the YouTube channel soon, because I really want to get to them. Hopefully next week I'll have one of them up. The first one is Pie Wacket. I've heard a lot of good things about it. It was worth checking out. Plus, it has Laurie Holden from The Walking Dead in it. And it also helps that this film is banned in 2 countries. So it's definitely something I want to check out. And may do a review of that film here on Anthony T's Horror Chamber YouTube channel. I want to thank you for watching this edition of the Horror Chambers DVD and Blu-ray collection. Have a good day and support indie horror.